Okay, thanks.
So let's kick off the meeting. So I'm George Shepard, Chair of the Conservation Commission, and I call this meeting of the Conservation Commission to order. Members present remotely are Navneet Hundal, Ryan Murphy, Melissa Webster from Indonesia, Dan Wells, Sylvia Willard, and myself, George Shepard. We also have Megan Sullivan and Noel Biland on the call right here. For this meeting, the Conservation Commission is convening by telephone or Zoom web conference as posted in the town website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded. Accordingly, please be aware that other participants may be able to hear you, and anything that you broadcast may be captured in the recording. All participants should keep their phones or microphones muted unless recognized by me. I will call on each speaker to address the commission. If you wish to address the commission, please click the raised hand icon or ask to speak by posting a request in the chat feature. Please identify yourself at the start of the remarks. All right. So it is 7:09, and the first business item is the public hearing, notice of intent, DEP 125-1202, 163 Sunset Road. So I will turn immediately to Megan to see whether or not we have the Board of Health approval yet.
You're on mute, Megan.
Muted.
Thank you. So originally or earlier this week, the applicant requested a continuance for this because they were still awaiting Board of Health approval. But late this afternoon, Board of Health actually did let me know that they approved of it today. So it's actually good to be voted on if the commission wanted to do so. I know at the last meeting there was a revised plan that was presented, and I think all questions, if any, were answered then. But the only question remains if we have a quorum to be able to vote on this item tonight. Because new information was presented at the last meeting, typically the certificate of missed meeting form would have to be signed by commissioners who missed the meeting so that they'd be able to vote tonight. We didn't have that item recorded at the last meeting. So the members of the commission that weren't there last time won't be able to vote tonight, which would just leave the 4 members that were at our last meeting, which would be George, Brian, Melissa, and Sylvia. I'd have to check to see if Sylvia would be able to vote on that because she wasn't officially a member when the public hearing initially opened.
Yeah, I was at the meeting, but I wasn't a member.
Yeah. That I'm unsure of.
Yeah, I would hate to get us into a quandary.
Yeah, I can check with the clerk's department, and maybe we can have it addressed by the next meeting.
So the motion is to continue the public hearing on 163 Sunset Road to the November 20th meeting.
Yes.
Can I just ask one question? Maybe this isn't the house, but was this the house with a failed septic system, or just because they're doing the accessory dwelling, they had to upgrade it?
Just an upgrade because the ADU, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so they wouldn't be installing the septic this year anyways.
All right.
Yeah.
So can I get a motion to basically continue this to the next meeting on the 20th?
So moved.
Second.
Brian? Thank you. We'll take a roll call vote. Brian?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Let's see, who else can vote on this thing? Sorry, I'm working in confined spaces here. Dan?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. We have a quorum. The motion passes.
Megan, if it turns out Sylvia is not able to vote, so how do we get the extra person, will we have some minutes that I could review, or whoever else missed it?
Yeah, I'd have to talk to the clerk. I wonder if it would have to be re-advertised for a new public hearing if we end up only having 3 members. The minutes won't reflect the same way a recording does, so I'm not sure if that would be sufficient. But I'll check with the clerk's department and make sure we get that squared away by the next meeting.
Great.
All right. So moving on from that, we're going to go to new and pending business. We have minutes from the 9th of October. I think Sylvia passed on some edits. I
Yes.
read what I thought was appropriate, and I think it was fine. Any other comments from the commissioners?
Yeah, the
Hearing-
only edit I got was just somewhat of a typo, that you can see crossed out in red.
And further down, there's some further down, that was just
Oh, I didn't.
some little things further down, just keep going. Where they go?
Let me look, 1 moment. Let me stop this.
So there was on the 7th page, there was that sentence that got clipped. And on the next page, we removed considerably further than 20 feet from the water body. It was really well within the bordering land subject to flooding. Is what it is. It's
Oh, here it is. Okay.
way down at the bottom of that next page. Did you see it on the?
Yep, here it is.
And then on the next page, I was asked to contact Mark Duffy about moving the cupola. And so I changed the word had to, it was recommended that she contact Mark Duffy, because I didn't think of it myself. And a couple pages later, Willard said the emergency certificate needed to be requested from the Board of Health for beaver trapping, but also an emergency certificate needed to be approved by and issued by not Dr. Waddles, but the Conservation Commission for removal of the lodge. And once Dr. Waddles had been informed that the beavers had been trapped. So it's further down there. Just clarifying the process. And the bottom of that page, the last paragraph in that page, instead of town bylaw, it's Carlisle's general bylaws. And I think that's it. Yeah, that was it. Little things. You see it?
Does anyone else have any comments?
No, looks good to me.
Same here.
Okay. So I think you need a motion to approve these minutes if you want to move on.
I think so.
So moved.
Melissa,
Seconded by Dan.
thank you. We'll take a roll call vote. Navdeep,
Abstain.
Ryan,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Sylvia,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, the motion passes. Number 2, bills, Best Way Wildlife, $2,000. So I understand it was 4, so can we actually get CPA money to pay for this?
So, we already have money, through a CPC grant for repair of the cranberry bog, that can be used to pay for the beaver removal.
All right.
You might want to just double check with Kelly because since it's maintenance and it's something that should have been done anyway, whether or not we have, we're going to be doing the repair. Just want to make sure that we're paying for it out of the right bucket.
Okay. Yeah,
Makes
I read
sense.
the language in the annual town meeting article that I think it referred to stabilization of the slope, so I think that's kind of how we thought it might fit in, but I'll check with her too.
Yeah, it all has to do with the grant agreement from CPA. But I'd rather not, personally, I'd rather not draw down the fund too much, but if it fits, I guess. We just have to make sure.
Question? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, we just have to make sure that in the future, we don't have to pay out $2,000 every time we see a lodge built on the dam. We need to do a lot of mowing and monitoring.
So was this just for the lodge or was for the removal of the animals?
Both.
Well, okay, that's what I understood. Okay.
So that's my question. Maybe I misunderstood in the beginning. I thought it was $1,500 a beaver and the guy or woman caught 4 beavers, but it was $1,500 just for beaver removal.
Yeah, in the original estimate, it said trapping beaver and then parenthesis S parenthesis. So I honestly wasn't sure either. This is what I was hoping for, so I feel very satisfied that it wasn't 4 times as much as this.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Okay, good.
A lot of trips down from New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So can I get a motion to accept this cost?
So moved.
Yep.
Ryan?
Second by Melissa.
Melissa, thank you. Melissa, you're very talkative from Indonesia. So we'll take a roll call vote. Navneet,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Sylvia,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, the motion passes. All right, moving down the list. Cranberry Bog Dam number 1 repair, DEP 125-1147. Is that still the right number?
Should be.
Yep.
Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. To vote to approve the draft scope of work. So I'm a little confused here. I saw the scope of work, but we've already gotten 2 bids. And the bids didn't seem to reflect the detail that you put in the scope of work.
So it is a little confusing. So right now, this item, to vote on the scope of work that we're going to put out to bid is for the permitted project, the full dam repair project.
Okay.
So that's set to be executed in the spring, hopefully, if the bidding process goes as we think it will. So that's that process. Separately, we're looking to do some emergency repair work this fall before the winter, in the next month. So that's the emergency repair work, and that's what the 2 proposals are that we're going to be talking about later.
Understood.
So
Thank you
it's 2
very
separate
much.
things, but it's
Yep.
confusing.
Well, I looked at the statement of work that you put together, and it was very comprehensive and it covered most things. And then I looked at the bids and said, wait a minute, where's the material laying and overlaying and whatever else? So that's neither here nor there. So we need to vote to approve the draft scope of work. So let me open this up to commissioners. Are there comments they would like to make?
I had some comments to it, of course.
Okay,
So yeah, actually, because what I sent along to you is a PDF, I incorporated your comments into a Word document
Oh,
with the
excellent. Okay.
yeah. So in the red are the, different edits. So I have like one or two and then Sylvia had some. But so this way everyone can see it. Sylvia's comments were in a separate document that was in the shared file, so you all should have been able to take a look at it, but this just incorporated it into this one document.
Excellent.
And also, we do have our town administrator, Ryan McLean, here if anyone has any questions for him. But I can just put this up on the screen. Sylvia, I don't know if you want to go through it and I can
You can go
show.
through it. There, you can go
Okay.
through it.
So one of the edits I made was to include the cofferdam design, which was a requirement of the ODS permit. I noticed that Stamsky and McNary didn't include it, but I actually reached out to them and asked them why, assuming that they had a reason for it, which they did. They said that their design already includes sandbags and pumps as needed if the water's an issue, but because the water is so low, the cofferdam design, they said, won't be needed on this project, so we probably don't have to include it in there. So that's one of my comments. Sylvia here said that the dam should be mowed, then confirmed, and Sylvia added by survey that all the wetland flags and staking should be in place prior to work. We have
Not
a
a
few
one wetland
words.
flag out there anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Um, some more edits about the siltation barriers and sandbags and relative to a dewatering still. That would have to be approved by me. I also just changed the language. There were some parts that reference me as the conservation agent and some as the administrator, so I just made it more cohesive and just thought I'll stick to administrator. So you'll see that edited throughout.
Good.
So my concern about that was that the dewatering still was sort of located near where all the divots are in the top of the dam, and I didn't think, that was perhaps a good place to add water going into a dewatering still from the other side of the dam. Could meet in the middle. Just a thought.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Keep going, Megan.
Okay. There's this bullet talks about a pre-construction site meeting with the conservation administrator, engineers, contractors, etc. And Sylvia added a conservation commission member if available. And then that after the pre-construction meeting, the work can start as long as it's confirmed by the Office of Dam Safety. This bullet is about the trees that are marked to be removed on the site plan. So Sylvia actually had a question on that, which I have down
I'm
here.
gonna say, are there any?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah?
this
Okay.
is Sylvia's comment / question. Maybe I'll let you speak to that, Sylvia.
I actually was out there yesterday and I took some pictures of the area. If I can get it up, I don't know if two people can share at the same time.
I can stop sharing if you're ready.
Let me see. Conscom. Let me. Okay, you want me to share this?
Sure.
Yeah. So I'll go down to the bottom. So the trees that are supposed to be removed are in this area here. And my concern is how are they going to be removed? They're fairly good sized trees. And this area here, the cart path is extremely narrow. There are at least 2, if not 3, right angle turns in it. There's a section on one of the turns where the cart path is not even level, and it is soggy and unstable certainly in the spring. So I am concerned about the equipment that's going to be necessary to remove those trees, and then the equipment necessary to bring the trees out, because big logs and tree trunks are pretty heavy, and it's a pretty dicey area out there in that area. And I have on one of the other bullets, I've got pictures here to show what I mean, but we can get those when we get to that part of the. So I can share those later.
So the issue is, how do we dispose of the trees that are being taken down? And are we getting rid of stumps, grinding them down too, and
Yeah,
getting rid of the chips?
they're supposed to be ground down, and all the debris from the grinding, and it's a pretty messy process, is to be removed. And that the trees that you're seeing are immediately this side of the dam. There's also in that area just to the right of the so the green bush next to like the third big tree there. There's a bench, trail bench, and maybe the Trails Committee should be encouraged to remove that so it doesn't get damaged, broken, but that's a minor detail. That's nothing to do with the dam itself. But I was, tree removal, those I think are pretty good sized trees, and I'm just worried about, and as I have been through the whole project, is access for equipment to the site. And this site along the eastern side of the dam is pretty unstable and difficult, full of right angle turns. And also there's a certified vernal pool partway along there. It's a little behind me where you see me, my shadow. It's near one of the right angle turns. It's a certified vernal pool, and just to put a cap on it, a couple of years ago, I did find a yellow spotted salamander over there.
That's on the Martin Street side, right, Sylvia? That
Yes.
little area
That's the east side, and the Fisk Street side is west. Just the Fisk Street is west, and Martin Street is right. And there's a dam, and north is Chelmsford.
the east side, yeah. Yeah.
So it's my concern is that yes, they're going to be taken out, but it would be good to have whoever it is that's going to be bidding on the project to detail how they're going to access the trees and remove them. Is it going to be a crane? Those are pretty big pieces of equipment. You got wetlands about 95% around the trees, and pretty soggy and unstable trail. So that was my concern.
So it sounds like we need to adjust the statement of work to define the goal of the clearing of this area.
So either that or put it in, and certainly Ryan knows a lot more about this than I do, have it as part of this is the work description, but have as part of the project
bid.
as it is posted or as bid, to include details about how some aspects of this project are going to be done. And there's a couple others that are concerning too. So he can answer that better than I. Right?
Ryan.
Fine.
Would you like me to answer that?
Yes, please.
So typically in the bidding process, the only items you would include are those that would increase or decrease cost. So if it's questions of permitting or how the project is to be done, then it's not necessary to include every detail. So if they're going to pile dirt here or there and it doesn't change the cost, then that's just site conditions.
But this could potentially change the cost, what equipment, how they access. No,
Or can they access?
or can, well, yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to exclude certain things, then that would be good to include in the bid so they can figure it out.
So the north-south dike is probably the strongest way to get there, even though it's got a right angle turn to get up onto the dam. The problem is the trees are just about the first thing that's done. And so the equipment that's going to try to get to the trees presumably would have to go over a dam that's not in very good shape.
I don't know, I'm not, and this is not my wheelhouse here, but requesting a detailed description of how you know, a proposal of how to remove these trees and the cost associated.
Well, can we offer to
Can't we just,
show the
Request
potential
that.
bidders what the issues are
can't we
on the
just?
site visit?
Well, yeah, there's usually a site visit
Yeah,
anyway.
you're gonna have to look at the place.
Pre-bidding.
Yeah,
So what
Right.
we do is we create a scope of work and we say, remove these 10 trees, and then they can visit those trees and they can decide whether or not they can remove them. The only thing we can tell them is you can't do X, Y, or Z, but we really shouldn't,
can't,
unless we have an engineer.
Right. Tell them how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
should tell them what our concerns are, or, you know, they can't damage certain things
Yeah,
or invade certain areas.
don't break our dam, right? And then they have to figure out what equipment to use.
Right, and don't silt
destroy
the,
destroy the vernal pool and.
right, don't silt the vernal pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you certainly don't want a crane slipping off into the bog. So, at any rate,
that's
is
their
there going to
problem.
be a pre-bid site visit for bidders to look at the site and things can be pointed
Right.
out?
Yep.
So all of that will be in the RFP.
Okay,
What they're gonna ask is, what are we doing? And that's what this scope is supposed to tell them. So we'll say you have to come look at the site, you have to submit certain things, all the legalese. But really, the scope of work is what's important.
Got it.
So
Are
do
we
you want
laying
me to
down
add
any-
anything? Oh, sorry.
It's,
No, that's a quick
it
question for
sounds like
Ryan.
you don't need to.
Are we adding any turf reinforcement, Matt, in this repair?
mhm.
Or is this
Yes,
the first
yeah.
phase of the repair?
This
It's
is
there,
phase
right?
one of the, yep.
Oh, this is phase one. Yeah, sorry,
Mhm.
sorry, right.
Right. This is the full repair in the spring of next
Yeah.
year.
This is,
Right,
yeah, yes.
Yep.
right.
So, I mean, that was one of my concerns that I had was about the tree removal and the potential damage that could be done and making sure that it's clear, you know, what to do about that. It could be, for example, that there could be some stone put down in the cart path where it's not level, to make it level. But can the
But Sylvia, we just have to define what the result's gonna be, not
Right,
how they're gonna do it.
yeah, right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this communicates that pretty well.
What, where?
No, the document, I think in general, I feel like we're covered.
Um,
Do you want me to add anything to that tree bullet, or do you want me to keep working through the document?
Sounds like based on what Ryan's saying, you don't need to add anything. That's going to be, we just have to tell them, outline what we need done. Then they look at it and then they tell us what they're going to do and how they're gonna do it and cost associated.
Okay.
Sorry, can I add something to the tree removal?
Sure.
Mhm.
Which I brought up a few times years ago, but there are two choices of bar oil, the oil you use on your chainsaw. You could use petroleum-based oil, or many people now use vegetable-based oil. And I'd asked before that we specify that they don't use petroleum in the, well, the buffer zone, but really almost in the wetland there. It doesn't cost them anymore. You can buy either one, but if we don't specify it, I'm sure they'll use petroleum oil, and some of it's going to end up, you know, on the dam or into the wetland.
Just the only issue might be the cost impact. If I have to take my chainsaw and clean out all the petroleum oil and to put it in the vegetable oil, is that an added cost? I have no idea.
Hopefully you're not using petroleum oil already, but the oils cost the same. I assume that, you know, or best efforts, whatever one wants to say. I'm not trying to
Okay.
cost, but let's avoid using petroleum-based bar oil to cut trees if we can, because it's right by a wetland.
Can we state it a little differently, use environmentally acceptable methods of cutting trees down that don't impact the wetlands? Does that translate to what you're talking about, Brian?
It might or might not.
Maybe.
I thought, and I literally said this years ago, that we specify that that they use an environmentally acceptable or whatever one. I'm sure Megan come up with the terms, but
Yeah, okay.
oil that's instead of petroleum-based oils.
How about confirm with the conservation administrator that oils used in the chainsaw work on the trees, tree removal, uses environmentally safe oil? Vegetable oil, something along that line.
I think if it wasn't in our order of conditions, I think it might be a stretch to impose a restriction like that. There may be some language in our order
I don't
regarding,
think so. I don't
I
think so.
thought we had that in that, but maybe we don't. I don't know.
So Ryan, another point of clarification. Are these bid requests supposed to be as restrictive and detailed, or are they supposed to be as broad to cast a wide net, and then these kinds of points are then hammered out in conversation with the people who place bids?
Good point.
Because if we become too restrictive, I think,
Nobody will bid.
yeah, I don't know. Again, not my wheelhouse. I'm asking for it.
You said Ryan, not Brian, right?
Oh, sorry, Ryan, I meant Brian.
Every time he says Brian,
So I'm like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning for me, but I've been up all day, so I'm really quite jet lagged. I apologize, for Ryan.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer and then try to be more helpful than the answer. So the answer is you should only include the things that matter to you because they increase costs and limit your pool as you identified. But if it is really important to you, then it needs to be in there. Otherwise, there's no way to enforce it. So if you said something like limit your use of oil, it's not enforceable. It's not measurable, right? Like they're going to use petroleum-based stuff for the crane and the vehicles. And so if you do want to limit it for chainsaws, then, and that's important to you, then you should write that in there. Otherwise, they're not going to. But yeah, it might limit your, it might limit who's willing to do it and stuff like that. But you should include it if it matters to you. If it doesn't, you really shouldn't.
So they're going to
What about
be using petroleum-based stuff. All the other heavy equipment will be petroleum-based, so I'm not sure that it.
Right, I was just thinking the same thing.
But that shouldn't be leaking into it's different to cut, excuse me, to cut with a saw than it is to, I'm not talking about, running biodiesel in the tools. I'm just talking about what gets deposited onto the berm of the bog.
I think they should
Not
only
that
use axes to chop down the trees.
Two-man saw.
There you go.
0 bids coming our way.
I think you're right, Debbie.
I think we want to get the project done.
Right. Let's try to minimize the negative possible impacts and just make suggestions that we can work out with the bidders when time comes.
Okay, I'm willing to let that go. I just wanted to mention it because I mentioned it.
It's a good point. You have experience in that. I had no idea.
Yeah, to Melissa's point, we could add a change order after we get the firm and say, how much would it cost for you to switch to this oil, and then decide then.
Right. Okay, I like that. Thank you, Brian. Ryan. It's
See,
fine.
that's why I asked.
But then they charge us for a change to the order, right?
Yeah,
Well,
it's a way of controlling.
if it costs more, we should be willing to pay it, right, Brian?
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Sure. So then there's just a comment about the till and soil mix and providing proof of seam information to me. Let's see. Oh, I think Sylvia mentioned this before. Any depressions along the dam crest and cart path be filled and leveled with compact fill. And she just added a note to provide proof of this information to our office. And that's really it. And then these are just kind of some questions and comments that think we might have gone over most of these. Maybe not whether or not the contractor will be responsible for mowing of the dam. Which I mean, I'm assuming when they're on site they'll be responsible for that mowing. So I would say
Well, it needs to be
yes.
mowed, it needs to be mowed before they put the wetland flags out. Or
Okay.
if they mow it, they'll take the wetland flags out again.
Yeah.
Another thought I thought I had put in there was there's the dam itself goes beyond where those two trails come up from the south and enter onto the top of the dam. They go, one end goes west and the other end goes east. And if I can share my photos again, and which is something probably just to talk with the folks about when they're out on the site, is this is at the western end of the dam where the trail is looking west. There's more dam down the road that people don't think of as still dam, but it is. You can see there's this cart path that used to be, I guess, the way up from the dam up into Chelmsford. There's not a lot of space here for a truck to turn around. So that's just something to be aware of. Maybe they can just back up. I don't know, but it gets really tight in this area. And
Well, we need a plan from the offerer on how they're going to get their
vehicles
equipment
in and out.
in and out.
Yeah. And walking along here, there's these cuts, and this is not a great picture, but that go down. So they need, that's just an example. It's tight there. Trucks are going to be going in that area a bit, not all the way, but a certain amount of way. And those trees that you see there on the left, those were on the plan. And
TBR
what?
to be removed.
No, they're not on the plan at all.
Oh, okay.
So when ODS comes out, I hope they don't have a problem with that.
Do they have to be removed because they're on an existing dam?
There, we'll see what ODS says, I guess, when they're out for that site visit. No. Anyway, I can stop sharing. So,
All right, well, thank you, Sylvia.
okay.
So I think we talked about a fair amount of modifications to the scope of work. Megan, are you comfortable with redoing this to satisfy basically what you heard?
Yeah, so I was hoping the edits that you've all seen tonight, I can just incorporate after you voted. Unless there's anything I'm missing in this that we discussed.
One of the things that I had was if they're going to do any stockpiling of soil before it goes onto the dam, that they need to stockpile it in an area that is approved, that doesn't have any woody debris in it, because we don't want to bury any woody debris, because that becomes a channel for water to go through. And after spending
I
$300,000,
thought that was in the.
it's further down. I didn't remember her talking about it, but
There's
Yeah,
some
here
place
it
where it
is. And
said
they have
no
right
okay.
here.
organic material, as I
Okay,
recall.
all right, fine, excellent, good.
All right, so yeah, I guess the question is, we need to vote to accept the draft scope of work as proposed with the edits. And I think in general, based upon the discussion, I'm comfortable with what Megan has done with Sylvia's edits. So I look to the commission for a motion to approve.
So
I'd
moved.
move. Oh, Brian, thank you. I'll second.
So
Either way.
Brian and Melissa, thank you. We'll take a roll call vote. Was I allowed to make the motion?
No.
All right, sorry. Who would like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Well, then you can't approve it. I'll approve it.
Huh?
I guess, can I do that?
Well,
All
why don't
right,
I
so-
just make the motions, Melissa, or somebody else can second it and we can vote on it, and then
I'll
there's.
second. I'll second.
All right, thank you, Sylvia. All right, well, so we'll take a vote. Whew. I have to be careful with these things. Navneet,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Sylvia,
Aye.
chair votes aye, the motion passes. Thank you. Why, yes. Number 4, informational. Office of received annual remediation of planting report for 125 South Street. Must be a neighbor of mine. I'm at 45 South Street. DEP 125-1179.
I'm drawing.
So, Megan, could you tell me what the status is right now?
Yeah, I included this on the agenda kind of just as an informational item that we received an annual report of the monitoring of the planting plan on that property. I wanted to include it because a lot of our orders of conditions and enforcement orders require this annual monitoring and that reports be submitted before November 30th. And this applicant actually did it, so I thought it was a good opportunity to include it on the agenda as a positive note. But nothing big. They just have a bunch of plantings in a buffer zone area. Some that are being replaced, but it's a good project.
So is this their first year reporting or second year?
This is their first year, so they still
First
have one
year.
more year to go.
One more year to go. Well, we'll keep it in mind and look forward to them reporting again.
Sure.
Is there anything we need to do right now as a commission?
No, it's just informational.
Okay. All right.
I do have one request, if it's all right with you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Because we have Ryan in the meeting, I was wondering if we could jump to the topics not reasonably anticipated
Sure.
and go to the emergency repair proposals
Yep.
about the cranberry bog, since we have them on the Zoom.
Yes, that's the
That's
big
right.
topic of the night. I agree.
Yeah, so of course, as you all know, we've been trying to get this repair done as quickly as possible. So we solicited 3 quotes and we got 2 responses, one from Sumco and one from T Ford. So those are the 2 responses we got, and Sumco is the lower bidder. So lower proposal. So let me get this up.
So make a quick question. Are they responding to the statement of work that we just approved?
No.
No.
No, it's
The
not.
one that we just approved is for the spring. The one that we're now
Okay,
talking
so
about
this is for the emergency repair.
Yes, exactly.
All right, thank you.
To get us to spring.
Right,
Yes.
there you go. Thank you, Sylvia.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Megan.
So what we're kind of looking for 2 things today. I'll get up Sumco's proposal first since it's the lower one. Let me see here. But so 2 things we're looking for. We're looking for the commission to approve of a proposal tonight, and then the second thing would be to allow the town administrator to sign the proposal on behalf of the Conservation Commission so that we can get the ball moving on this as quickly as possible. So this is Sumco's proposal.
Yep.
So these are kind of all of the asks that I had, and this is the total price. I can.
Well, let me just add a comment here. I looked at the T
Mhm.
Ford company and the Sumco. T Ford said that they worked with the Office of Dam Safety in the past. I didn't see
Yes.
that reference at all in the Sumco.
I agree. I completely agree. I didn't either.
I worry that they reference a lot of
Yeah.
experience, but I didn't recognize any of the experience. And maybe you know better than I do, Megan. So it says here, Sumco proven track record recognized by the Society of Ecological Restoration, New England Chapter Project Award by the Environmental Business Council of New England. But I don't know what that means. So does that Are you happy with that, or do we need to make sure that they can
So
interact with the Office of Dam Safety?
yeah. I guess they didn't specifically mention the Office of Dam Safety, but you can see from this attachment on their proposal that they do a lot of work on dams, much bigger dams than ours.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they actually did come out to the site to look at it in person before they gave us the proposal, and said they had a lot of experience with earthen dams. So, in my opinion, they seem perfectly qualified. There's nothing to lead me to believe otherwise. I think both T Ford and Sumco are, both great companies. They were both recommended as companies that are familiar with this type of work. So
Okay.
that's the
Okay.
reason I reached out to them in the first place.
Well, I trust your judgment then.
I thought that the Sumco proposal was more detailed than the T Ford one.
And cheaper too. What do you want? Come on.
But I was worried that it didn't mention ODS. I made multiple notes. Where's ODS? And this on my document.
Can you see the T Ford one on my screen right now? Or just Sumco?
Just Sumco.
Okay, let me switch that then. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in from a procurement perspective here. This is Ryan, the town administrator,
Yeah.
not Brian. So we can certainly ask Sumco if they are comfortable making sure that ODS is cool with their plan. Like 100%, we can ask them that. If they say no, then they're not qualified for our project and we can move on. If they say yes, then they've met the qualifications. So you put out a scope of work for this emergency repair. So what we have to decide is, are they qualified to do that scope? And
Mhm.
if both are qualified, then you have to take the low bidder, which is Sumco. So you'd have to find Sumco unable to meet your standard to move on to T Ford at this point.
So do we have to contact Sumco and inquire about ODS experience?
It sounds like that's the case.
But looking at their at least their brochure, clearly they've had to deal with ODS, or they couldn't have done those. I think 3 of those dam projects you showed, one was in Maine, but the other 3 were in Massachusetts. So they must have had to deal with it.
And we can call ODS and just ask if they've dealt with them before.
I agree
That's
with
a
you,
good idea.
Brian. By deduction, it makes sense, but just
There's a
state
statement.
that.
Yeah, there's a statement called trust but verify, which I suspect Brian knows.
Oh, Sylvia, come on.
I had
Okay.
I had one question, yeah, when other people are finished.
Well, I'm done, but go ahead.
On the second page of the document,
Sumco?
yeah, under the inclusions, the third bullet down says all labor and equipment necessary to complete wetland restoration efforts noted on project plans. That seems like they're looking at the whole dam, and I wanted to make sure they're not going to be doing the whole project.
No, I haven't I've never shared the site plans with them.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
The scope is limited, but if they want to do the whole project for 30 grand, we're gonna let them.
Oh, sure.
If they're the cheapest, come on.
But they do have to interact with ODS.
So it sounds like the action is for Megan to check out with them and their experience with ODS. And if it sounds reasonable, we can proceed with accepting their bid.
Yeah.
Well, I think
That
we
makes
should
sense?
vote to, conditionally approve it so we don't have to wait 2 more weeks.
Yes. I like
Maybe
that
we
idea.
vote to approve
I
Sumco.
like
but
that, Dan,
if
yes.
Megan determines that they're not qualified, then she, do we just automatically disqualify them and the other company is automatically approved, or we have to come back and get our vote.
That'd be fine. If you approve both, then we have to go with the low bidder. If one of them's not qualified, we can move on.
Should we then look at the other one as well?
Well, it already states ODS in their
Yeah, but,
bid.
yeah, but
I move
What-
we approve both quotes.
I second that.
So I guess, Dan, you said we'll approve both quotes
Yeah,
without
just like
going back to Sunrun about their, or the other one.
what Ryan said is we approve both, but we have to take the lowest bid, and if it's determined by Megan after our vote that one of them doesn't meet the criteria, then they're
All right.
automatically disqualified.
Okay, so Megan, the action is for Megan to check out whether or not the other bidder can handle ODS issues. And then if yes, then we have 2 bids, and if not, we have 1 bid. All right. Can I get a motion for that, please?
So moved.
Second.
So we got Ryan and Melissa. Melissa, you're really active from Indonesia. I'm impressed.
Well, I'm not the only one on the other side of the planet.
Have any
not-
dams over
Oh,
there?
I'm in Massachusetts. I'm in Carlisle. I just am mentally and physically in
Oh, I see, just got back.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Oh, you're just returning from,
Yes.
I see. Yeah.
All right, so we need to make a motion here, which we did. We'll take a roll call vote. Navneet,
Aye.
Sylvia,
I,
Dan, Melissa,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
the chair votes aye. Motion passes.
Can you also make a vote that Ryan is able to sign the proposal on behalf of the commission? I don't think that was included.
So moved.
Second.
Dan, Navneet, we'll
And
take a roll
Melissa.
call vote.
It was Dan and Melissa.
Melissa, okay, thank. Melissa's all over everything. Come on, Melissa.
Sorry.
That's no. I like your involvement. Navneet,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Sylvia,
I,
and the chair votes aye. The motion passes.
Mr. Chair, before I leave,
Yes.
so my understanding of the plan, so I can properly help Megan execute your wish, is that we're gonna do this emergency repair this month. Get that completed, report back to you. Then the scope of work that you approved tonight would be phase 1 of the project to complete that.
Correct.
When the hydrology study comes, we're gonna come back to you and have a conversation with you about phase 2 of the project and the final project. And that's what we're doing with this dam.
I understand that's true, and I'd like confirmation from Megan.
That is also my understanding.
Okay. We're with you, Ryan. Thank you very much.
So all of us are all on the same page. That'll make it easier for us and we will get it done.
Excellent.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks. Ryan.
Before I leave, Megan did an excellent job with this. Obviously, Sylvia started a lot of this and helped out. So I have tremendous staff. They make me look great, and you guys are in good hands. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. I think Megan is doing a wonderful job.
Thank
Yes.
you. I have a lot of help. Appreciate it though.
I think we should take a roll call vote on that. No, never mind.
Yeah.
Megan, you're really good. I love that statement of work that you put out together. Very comprehensive. All right.
George,
Yes.
with the chair's permission, may I be excused?
No.
George, Nick,
Melissa, thank you so
Nick
much
has
for
joined, so
joining in.
I'll tap in for Melissa.
I
Thank you
see.
so much.
That's great.
Okay. Till next time.
So let's see. Nick came in at 8:00.
I'm just, I don't have very much fuel left in me, so just keep that in mind in terms of what items we need to address.
Okay. So I'm just logging my stuff here. Okay, moving on. So we have the 125 South Street, DEP 125119. So I think we covered that one already. Number 5, vote to submit a letter of support to Billerica Town Manager for removal of the Talbot Mill Dam from the Sudbury Aspet Concord Wild and Scenic Rivers Stewardship Council.
George, can I just make a request? I have to recuse myself from that one. And
Okay.
I do have to leave at 8:30, so possibly bump that one till if we're still on.
That'd be fine. Is there any particular item that you'd like to address before you disappear?
That's the only one of concern that I just
Okay.
can't participate
All
in.
right. We'll come back to number 5. So moving on to number 6,
Well,
Land
will we
Stewardship
have a
Committee
quorum?
updates.
Before that, will
Sorry?
we have a quorum if Dan leaves?
Yeah, we still do. Because Nick came back.
Nick came in. I know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So we're good. So Dan will disappear, Melissa disappear, but we're still good.
Okay.
All right, Land Steward Committee
And stewards,
updates.
I think we've made a subcommittee to deal with the Woodward property, which
Right.
is important to everybody. But the other thing we voted on, which is important to Conscom, and it was actually Alex's idea, is we had talked about this Boy Scout issue, and we had no authority to shut them down immediately. And we said, what do we do in the future if an issue comes up and the chair and co-chair have no authority to do anything? And Alex's idea was brilliant. He said any committee member, and I would propose the same for the Conscom, any conservation commissioner can shut down something if it's an emergency. Usually it's different for Conscom because it's WPA, so it's more obvious. But he suggested we extend the authority so that anybody could act on a matter. And I would, so we voted on that. And I would suggest that the Conscom votes on the same thing, that or just the chair and vice chair, I don't really care, but that there is authority to take action, or our conservation agent in the event something's happening that we don't agree with. So it may not be an enforcement order issue. I don't know what else it would be. Whereas the land stewards are taking care of the property, and obviously it's not a Wetlands Protection Act issue, or hopefully not, but to extend that authority to commissioners or to the chair and vice chair, so that we don't have to wait for the next meeting if somebody has done something incorrect.
Well, giving it to an individual on the LSC, that sounds a little dangerous. So and so may say,
So,
"Oh,
but
I don't want this," or whatever. But I think if you limit it to, the chair's available somewhere, and if you want to have a second in command, one of the two can make that, then I would agree with that.
I'm gonna second George's concern. If a member of the committee doesn't like a certain way somebody who's leased out a property is doing something, or doesn't like that person and wants to stop what they're doing, that can get it to be very tricky and sticky, right? So I think it should come from the chair, like that person should, whoever has an issue with what's happening, call you up, Brian, or the vice chair, and you guys be the one to then make the decision to stop that action. And you have the authority, but not just any member. Like thinking about myself, if I saw somebody filling in wetlands, I wouldn't go up to that person and be like, stop it right here. I'd talk to the person, but I'd call Megan, I would call George, I would call Dan, and I would bring up the issue and have them take it from there.
So Brian, does LSC have a vice chair? So there are at least two people that can react?
It has another chair, but this wasn't really about LSC. I was talking about more for Conscom. And just by way of example, I remember, I don't know, 5 years ago, driving by a house on Rutland Street, and they were cutting down trees certainly within 100 feet of the wetland. And I called Sylvia, and Sylvia said, "You're a commissioner. Go tell them to stop." and I did, and it worked.
Well,
So
not every town has an administrator. You have authority as a commissioner to do this if you feel comfortable doing it. If you don't, call Megan or another conscom member or go to the police. If you go by Toll Field someday and you see a big party going on in there and a fire in the going on, a campfire, you know that's not right.
Yeah, so anyway, we just need one or two people that can make that decision, and
But like, that's a
when
perfect
it's
example.
timely.
Brian, you called Sylvia up. Sylvia then said, go do, like, you see this, do it, right? Like, it wasn't a unilateral thing, right?
no, I would not act on my own.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. So I just don't
I
want.
didn't have a problem going out. What I was pointing out to him was that he has authority as a commission member to do that.
And I
I
was
just-
right
I just-
there.
I just worry about people who are going to take that authority a step too far.
Okay.
On the
I'm worried
commission?
about. Now, I'm talking about, if we're talking about LSC, we're talking about conscom,
okay.
that's what I'm trying to get at, trying to be sensitive in how I say it. So that's all I'm saying, is that I think it should be some cross communication between the person noting the issue and at least one other member's, preferably a
Well,
chair, vice chair, administrator.
I agree. The prefer, and if he's not available, be able to go to the vice chair
Right. Or to go to Megan.
Exactly.
or the police.
Or the police, exactly.
Yep,
Exactly.
I mean,
there are lots of options.
that's what I did with those Boy Scouts. I went to the police and fire and let them deal with it.
Exactly.
So much for the marshmallows. Oh well. All right. So, do we need to make a motion in this particular thing, or is it recognize that if there's an issue, that someone has to contact somebody in the Conservation Commission to take action,
I
or
would
the
be
police, or
if
whatever?
made a motion, if somebody made a motion, because
Uh,
Alex
Let's take a
said
motion. Who wants to
anybody,
make?
and I didn't like that, but I wasn't, Alex was a conscom chair. I'm not going to fight him.
No comment. All right. So, can I get a motion?
So moved.
No, this is for Conscom. Well, so moved. I need a motion in words.
Oh, motion in words. I move to clarify that if an infraction is noted by a member of the commission or a member of the committee, that there is
Or anybody.
that there is
Yeah.
some communication between the person noting the infraction with a chair, vice chair, or the administrator at the, preferably,
Or the
but
police,
also
right?
can be another member or the police if need be, to then execute action.
Oh, yeah,
that's-
keep going. You're doing fine. You got another two paragraphs. No, I think you captured it, and
Yeah.
I certainly understand where you're headed.
Yeah.
So can I take a vote here on
Need a
this?
second.
I'll
Let's see.
second that, George.
Thank you. That's Dan.
Can I vote because I'm chair of LSC?
Yeah.
Of course you can. This is Conscom. All right. So Navneet,
Hi.
Nick,
Aye.
Brian.
Hi.
Well, Alyssa's gone. Dan,
Aye.
Sylvia,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion passes.
Thank you, guys.
Good. It was a good idea, Brian. Okay. Moving on. Let's see. That was number 7. Vote to approve the January 2026 to June 2026 meeting schedule. But I don't see it on my agenda.
It's on mine.
Really? I got a blank page. When did I miss that?
Well, it was in the packet, but I have it on the screen right now. So
Okay.
sorry, this one has all the submittal dates and stuff, so really it's just a left column.
Oh, I remember that.
Noel put
Okay.
this all together for us, so it's just this left column.
Just to point
Let's
out, we
see.
had been going every 3 weeks, so this is going back to every 2 weeks, right?
Oh, okay.
No, we've been doing every 2 weeks.
There's a variety depending on holidays and school vacations and stuff like that.
Well, we're not doing April Fool's Day, so that's good.
Yeah, so I think when there was
Yeah.
when there was like 5 Thursdays in a month, there's a 3-week gap.
Yes.
But when there's only 4 Thursdays in a month,
Yeah.
it's a 2-week gap.
Yeah, I see 2 times every month, so I think that's
I have it
reasonable.
scheduled on the first and third Thursday of every month.
Oh, it used to be second and fourth, but
Well, right now, June it's the 2nd and 4th,
yeah.
and January is the 1st and the 3rd.
Well, some depend because there's holidays, so
Oh, I don't recognize
one.
holidays. What's going on here? Okay, well, my birthday's not on there, so that's good.
So
Looks fine by me.
April 23rd is school vacation week.
Mhm.
Just letting you know, you guys can have a meeting. I'm just, those are the dates that are gonna be hard, and February looks okay.
Yeah, the April one was the only one I was thinking. I don't know how comfortable you are with just having one meeting a month. But I know that that is school vacation week, so I wasn't sure. But
Yeah, I will be out of town, but
Well, why don't we leave it as you propose, Megan, and we can adjust as time goes by.
One of the tricky parts is June and working around when you select the conservationist of the year and dealing with whenever Old Home Day is and making sure that the artist has an opportunity to do the award. And I don't know when the June.
We don't know when that's due, Sylvia, so I think
No.
so I think Sylvia would just nominate you again and would not worry about it.
Oh, no.
Can't
I
be a
move we
commissioner.
accept these dates.
Right.
Yeah, can I get a motion to accept the dates, please?
So moved.
Dan moved. I'll second.
Thank you, Nick. And we'll take a roll call vote. Boop-de-doo. See Navneet's still with us. Nick,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Sylvia.
Aye.
The chair votes aye, the motion passes. Thank you very much.
Chair,
All
I'm
right.
gonna request to permission to exit the meeting. I apologize.
Well,
You don't want me making decisions.
yeah, you look sleepy. You can go away. It's
I'm
okay.
tired.
Thanks for staying with us so long.
Thank you. Good night.
So let's see here. Meet. Left at 8:15. I'm supposed to log all this stuff, I think, but who knows? All right. Item number 8, vote to issue true attest copy of order of conditions for DEP file 125-1099-211 Bellows Hill Drive. So we did issue one originally, right, Megan? And
yes,
they
there
just
was
didn't.
there was an order of condition issued years ago. The applicant just got a certificate of compliance issued, I think 1 or 2 meetings ago. They went to record it at the Registry of Deeds, and it turns out they never recorded the order of conditions, which needs to be recorded before a certificate of compliance can be recorded. So we just have to reissue like it's not the original hard copy, but it's the true attest copy.
Yeah, no, I understand. Is there any
So
issue with
that's
this?
all.
Happens a
mean,
lot.
No issue.
It
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So can I get a motion to issue the OOC,
So moved.
Second,
thank you, Brian.
second,
Brian and Sylvia, was that?
yeah, second.
Okay. We'll take a roll call vote. I won't call Nabney. Nick,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Sylvia,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, the motion passes. Damn, it's going to be a quiet night tonight. I like it. All right, so number 9, receipt of Carlisle Conservation Foundation letter regarding the conservation restrictions at Woodward Conservation lands. Do we have someone to report on this?
I can,
Megan?
if nobody else can.
Well, I'm sorry, I have not seen any material on this.
I can share the letter. I'm happy to give a little summary, but I'm sure Brian is a lot more familiar than I am with this property. But so our office received this letter from Carlisle Conservation Foundation. What they're basically trying to do is submit the CR request for this parcel of Woodward Fields. And so there's kind of 3 action items that they're asking the town to address. And I think when they say the town, they really mean the Conservation Commission. And so, or LSC, but the first is to get a baseline assessment or documentation report finished. So there's already been one that was drafted last year, but they're asking that a professional be hired to kind of complete this, and they're also willing to assist in paying for this to be completed. So that's the first item they're asking for. The second is getting a plot plan, a surveyed plot plan done, specifically to show the boundary with 106 Maple Street. Stamsky and McNary already staked out that boundary in person in the spring of this year. So we just need to put it on a plot plan with some other things which they request here. Driveway, abutting septic, significant trees and landscaping, and so on and so forth. And then the third thing that they're requesting is that we determine the legal status of a historical cart path, which is a shared right of way along the northern boundary of this parcel, which I believe goes along 106 Maple Street. And so this would probably need town council opinion.
Yep. I
So
agree.
those are kind of the 3 items that they outline in the letter. And then they just give a summary of a little background on the land. So I think I would obviously, I'm excited to hear what you all have to say about this because I am just learning about this parcel, and I'm trying to figure out what action I can take to make this process move forward. I was thinking, obviously, CCF submitted this letter that seems to be pretty decisive and clear on what they're looking for. So, because there's a lot of different parties involved in this, so you have CCF, you have LSC, CRAC, and then us. So with those 4 parties, I think this clear letter from CCF is great. What I think would be helpful is if Brian, maybe LSC at their next meeting, I'm sure this is on the agenda, so it'd be great if you all can meet and kind of do take a similar approach where you outline all the requests you have and things that you need for me to accomplish. I'm sure some of them will line up with what CCF already outlined, but if there's any additional information that's needed, that'd be great to kind of throw together. And then I talked to the chair of CRAC today, Rick, and I kind of asked him to do the same at his next meeting, which he said he would do because it's already on the agenda. So I think if all those different groups kind of determine what's needed, and then we can all come together and make an action plan for me to execute, I can reach out to Stamsky and town council and get this going. So that's my spiel.
So my spiel isn't much different, but I don't know if we need a professional. We do have a baseline document. I've worked with Megan through Trails, submitted a document so that Megan could submit something to Stamps area and get a plot plan. So we've already handled that. and I'm sorry if you could scroll down, please, Megan. And we've already, I'm gonna say a year ago, we've already gone to town council about the cart path, which is the driveway from the Abrams house. And we've dealt with that. So I think that we already know the legal status. We don't need to go back again and do that. What's really wrong here is that when the town accepts or buys a property and it needs a CR, that all this stuff should be done then, not years later.
Yep.
And if you scroll down to the bottom of this document, the last line, or the second to the last line, well, CCF encouraged Land Stewart to refrain from issuing a license. I never heard about that, but I wasn't chair. But we've been issuing a license, and Sylvia must know when, to Clark Farm for years without it having a CR. So I'm not sure why it's any different now than then, but I certainly would agree in the future we should, get our ducks in the row and have our CRs in place before we, issue licenses for things or permits. And we didn't, for whatever reason, we didn't do that. And then if I put my crack hat on, I really asked that Stamps McNary really make it clear what the boundaries were, because as Sylvia knows, we go out on crack things and we're wandering around wondering where the property line is. And that shouldn't be happening. We should really figure that stuff out in advance and have a plot plan so that it makes crack's job much easier into perpetuity than these things that don't have a clear CR.
So Brian, is the ask, well, as part of that plot plan, shouldn't we have some monuments and permanent monuments installed where those stakes were put?
We did that. The only one we couldn't do was one of the monuments would have been in the middle of the cart path driveway and would have been a real problem for the owner. So Stamps McNary put in magnetic nails in the ground and then triangulated on Maple Street and measured and gave us bounds so that we can always go back and look.
But if for crack, there's a magnetic pin in the ground. Shouldn't there be like a granite above ground marker?
It would be a little tough because it would be in the middle of somebody's driveway. That's the only one marker, but the other marks, all the other parts were clearly marked. So
Okay.
as a crack member, I'm thrilled. But it needs to be reduced to a plot plan. And I think Sylvia mentioned before that the third lot,
Doesn't exist.
well, it's called, the others are called like 3132, and there's a reference to 33, but on the town map, it's actually 40 or something.
For OS, map
Oh.
10, parcel 4 OS for open space. That's the one that's sort of partway in someone's driveway, I think.
Well, it's actually not their driveway, it's the town's.
Yeah, right.
And there's also intrusion. There's some utilities that run under it and some electricity on the far side of it. And then the other property, so I think that's 102, I forget the next property, but certainly their septic system, I mean, it's already built, so we can't do much about it, but it doesn't quite encroach, but it has no setback. It wouldn't have been allowed
Hmm.
if we knew it was town property. So
I just don't understand that survey era at all over.
I don't know what to say.
So
Yeah. There's also a lot of fencing in there that they are asking to be noted on a plan.
We actually plan to remove the fencing.
Oh, good.
Brian, just to go back to the first part, the baseline report. So you're saying someone collectively in Trails or Crack will volunteer to do this rather than having the town having to pay a professional? Is that what you're saying?
I think somebody already did it. I'm not sure who it was, but I would hope that maybe we can review it in the next LSC meeting and decide if we need to hire somebody. I mean, I understand that CCF wants us to, but if we don't need to, there's no point in doing it. And then
Right.
there's also the question of who's paying. Last time, I guess Trails or CCF and LSC split the cost of Stamps and Muneri, but we still need them to make a plot plan. But my point is, when the town accepts property, this stuff should all be done,
At that time, sure.
not 5 years later.
Before any building permits are issued or something like that, there's
Well,
gotta
there's
be,
no building permit here, but
I mean, for the
certainly-
Woodward Village.
Oh, yeah, for example, you're right, yeah.
Bounds, granite bounds were required for Woodward Village, and there were some emails back and forth between me and the developer about when are they going to go in? Oh, they're coming, and they just only this spring, I guess, were put in, but I was out of commission, so I mean, not on the commission, out of commission. Sorry, playing words.
But the point is that there are more, so a few granite bounds were put in, but, as I say, wearing my crack hat, if you look on this picture, on this plot plan, there are a bunch of, twists and turns that needed to be clearly defined, and they are now, so that crack doesn't go 5 years from now scratching their head saying, I don't know, right? So I just would urge in the future, next time the town accepts a property, that they deal with this stuff up front.
My take on the letter was that they were saying that there was a member of the CCF that had done a lot of documentation, but that the state was requiring a professional. But maybe I read it wrong, to put the material together.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's my take on the letter.
What's your experience in other properties over the years?
What happened over the years has nothing to do with what's happening now or in the future. Things have changed dramatically over the years as to what is allowed for CR, and they're getting tighter and tighter all the
Yeah,
time.
there's been a lot of turnover in EEA,
Yeah.
people reviewing it, a lot of turnover,
Yeah,
so.
But what I'm urging is next time the town accepts a property and it's going to have a CR, let's work this stuff out at the time of purchase or whatever, including the costs, so that, LSC or Conscom doesn't end up paying to resurvey and do something that was part of a gift or a sale or whatever. It shouldn't be stuck on us 5 years later.
Yep, good point. All right, I have to sign off. Good night, everyone.
Do we need to take a
Thank
vote on this?
Thanks, Dan.
Guess
I
not.
don't think so. But Brian, I think it would be helpful, because LSC is going to be discussing this anyways, and kind of based on everything you just told me, it'd be great if after your next meeting, you or someone else on LSC could write up something to either go over CCF's action items. Like for instance, you said that town council's already been contacted and you already know everything. So it'd be great if I could have whatever correspondence you or other LSC members have with town council, so I can have all the information. And then I think once I have all the information, maybe I can set up a meeting for a group of people. So say LSC chair and vice chair, we can get Crack at the meeting. We can get someone from CCF, George and I, and if any other commissioners are interested in being there. And then we can all get in one room and kind of have the same information and decide what actions need to be taken. And then I'm happy to execute those actions.
Yeah, I'm a little vague on what happened, but I know it was that at least Ryan and I wasn't chair at the time of LSC, but at least Ryan and I had a Zoom call with the town council and an assistant
I
there,
see.
and went over what the cart path was and what the rights were of the,
Oh, okay.
it was like a 1932 thing that wasn't well recorded, I guess. But
Got it.
I can find what I have on that.
Yeah, if there's anything in writing, then then I can have it and try to remember myself. But if not, then that's fine.
Take a look.
All right. So so Magdalene, have we decided what we'd like to do with this woodward conservation
So
restriction?
I think for now it can kind of just be like a correspondence informational item. And then I can continue to keep you all updated on if anything happens behind the scenes. Like for instance, if I do end up trying to schedule a meeting with other boards or I get other letters from other boards about this item, then I'll just put it on the agenda for discussion.
Okay,
But that's my feeling, but if the other commissioners have anything they want to discuss or vote on, then I'm good with that too.
I think LSC should take up, we just got this letter, we couldn't, it came after the agenda was posted for our last meeting, so it'll be on the next meeting. So let me give you a report after that.
Perfect.
sounds
Yep,
good.
perfect.
When is your next meeting?
18th, I think,
Yes, I believe so.
12 days away. You're on Tuesdays, right?
generally.
Okay. All right.
We were on Monday last time because we screwed up and our agenda wasn't.
No comment. All right. Next, we have informational. Board of Health is holding a hybrid public meeting on the 20th of November. Hey, that's the same date as us.
Competition.
Yeah, boy. For proposed changes to its local regulations governing the construction and use of private wells. Ooh. So I guess the question is, when is it on their agenda? And is that something we could work around in our agenda? And we don't know either at the moment. So
But George, wouldn't we be best off hearing what they had to say and then making a recommendation? So if they said all wells should be in the wetland, we might say, and we don't really go with that.
well, the problem is we'll be meeting simultaneously when that meetings happen, so we won't have a representative there.
Well, what they're planning was in the packet.
So when on the 20th of November are they planning to meet?
I
And
believe it's at 7 p.m. It's the same time as us, but I mean their draft regulations that they have are there for the public to see. So if anyone wants to review it on their own and submit any comments or talk about it at a conservation commission meeting, I can put it on our agenda. But yeah, I don't think we have to change our meeting time to accommodate their meeting
okay,
unless there's a bunch of commissioners that are interested in going to that meeting, then we can accommodate that.
no, I already have a private well. I'm all set.
Okay.
So, so I think, if we can get, a summary of the discussion from the Board of Health on their
Yeah.
issues that we can, as a group, review and make comments on, I think that would make sense.
Okay. Yeah, I can ask for that. I'm sure that might be something they're gonna do anyways as a
I
follow-up.
suspect
So
you're right.
yeah.
Right.
So I can send that along, or ask for it.
Okay. I see one more item on our agenda here.
We also
Community.
do have to go back to the dam, the Billerica Dam thing eventually, just
Oh, that's right. The one that Dan wanted to bypass. Well, let's finish up number 11, Community Preservation Committee, CPC updates. Do we have someone who's going to provide the updates?
Well,
our CPC
I-
liaison.
I
And
see
who is that?
is on, but I'm also the CPC rep. And I did have a meeting with CPC on last week, well, 10/29. And then after that, Barney sent out basically the way ahead that is for CPC hearings and applications and meetings. And I can send you the document that she put together, or I can give you a little summary Gather the funding cycle will open on the 10th. That's a mere 4 days from today. And they meet next. Oh, okay, good. There it is. But the key dates are that we need it. I don't know of any articles that the commission is interested, or any projects that their commission is interested at this moment that you want to submit a request for some funding for. Or maybe LSC does. I don't know. I haven't heard of any there, but I have let LSC know because I was at the last meeting. And so
So it's an opportunity for us to solicit funds for certain
Right.
things that we think are important.
yeah, they have to do with open space. And if appropriate, some of our open space has historical needs, or
Okay.
like 100-year-old cranberry bog, for example. If there was a project there that was appropriate and not maintenance, but say an improvement, then you could ask for a grant from there.
Okay.
And so I can send this out to everyone so you all have it, so you don't have to just listen to it. One thing that we need is a couple of years ago, before we gave back most of the money that had been provided to the Conservation Commission for Greeno Dam. And because of the H&H study, we haven't used all of it yet, but we'll need to for the engineering. And so the 2-year time period that the commission had asked for is going to be up at the end of 20, with, a town meeting roughly. So it would be good to request a continuance from the CPC committee so that we can keep some of that money in case it isn't used for the Greeno Dam spillway amendment. We set aside, I think, $50,000 to do this. Not going to be anywhere near that much, but it would be good to hang on to it so that we could do it if required. It would be good if you vote on that.
I can put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay. And in the meantime, I will also confirm that we won't run out of the money for the Cranberry Bog Dam #1. So between now and then, I will confirm to make sure that we've got plenty of time to use the funding for Cranberry Bog Dam #1.
Good. Okay.
But
And-
Sylvia said something really important, which is it can't be used for maintenance. So we can't use it to mow the bog or cut something or, mow toll or whatever properties we have.
You could probably use it to, say, remove invasive plants and plant native plants, or something like that. But just regular maintenance like mowing, it can't be used for that.
All right.
Because-
Well, we need to figure what we. Oh,
Anything.
sorry, Dan. You want to say something,
Oh,
Mr. Cook?
I'm just stepping in just to see if you guys want to talk about the Talbot Mill Dam.
That's one of the things that haven't been done. Can I just say one thing? It's not on the agenda and it's not going to be discussed on this agenda, but I just want to give you a heads up that at the next CONSCOM meeting, we absolutely have to have a discussion of the bylaw, wetland bylaw.
I believe it's on the agenda already for that meeting, isn't it?
I believe so.
Megan? I saw an email about it.
Yeah, I'll put it on. I have a draft agenda, but I haven't sent it out yet. But yeah, that'll be on it.
And they'll
Okay.
need some time to talk about it.
All right. So as far as the CPC goes, you're going to share the letter that we got with
Yeah.
Megan, and Megan can share it with the rest of the commission.
Yeah,
So it's in their shared folder on the Google Drive already, but I can distribute it via email if that's easier.
Yeah, I think that would be easier. I had trouble with the drive at one point.
Okay.
It's really kind of tight, and the timelines are actually quite definite. So pay attention to it and put your thinking caps on if you think there's something that you want to ask for a grant for.
So, Megan, on the next agenda, we should put a response to the CPC recommend, with our recommendations or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay.
All right. So Dan, Mr. Cook, you
Yeah.
wanted to address a topic?
Yeah, I sent some materials around for everyone with drawings and some descriptions of some of the studies that have been done to get to this point where we have funding to take the dam down, and all the detailed studies have been completed. And have you had a chance to look at that, or should I talk to that? I mean, I know you guys have long meetings, so I don't want to spend too much of your time, but
So this is the removing the Talbot Mill Dam is what you're talking about?
that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so I must admit, I'm not familiar with that topic, so.
Okay.
Is this helpful? I don't know. I just picked one of the maps that I thought might be helpful that you sent around, but I'm
Thanks,
happy to
Al.
put up anything else.
There was a nice one in the package that showed what would happen after everything is gone, and it labels all the resource areas that are will be a little more in a little better shape than what they are now.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull that up for you
Yeah,
here.
you're probably better off than I am.
Yeah, so I was let's see here. Bear with me a second. It'll take a while to pull it all up. Just getting out of another meeting. So here we go. And Conscom and let's see what would be best for you guys on this.
It was sort of a post project showing look, and it had riverfront and buffer zone and flood zone and all those
Yeah.
resource areas on it, which
Yeah, I'll get that in a second here. So this, yeah, here's this I can if you can, I can share the screen here.
Yeah.
Okay. Share, and I'll just pop that up. Oops. Can you see my screen here now?
nope.
Not yet.
Okay, let's see. Huh. Why is that not cooperating? Okay, I'm hitting share, and it usually pops up there.
Do you know
Screen.
what the document you're pulling up is called?
It is called the Talbot Mill Dam Proposed Wetland Resource and Restoration Plan.
Okay, I can pull that up. Let's see. Here we go.
Okay.
Can you all see it?
Mm-hmm.
And also, is this the one?
I think so, yeah, because it shows a lot more.
Okay, let me see what you're thinking about here. It's
That's post project.
post project. Okay, and let's see.
Yeah.
And that would be staging access. Water drawings. No.
Do you need me to pull up something else, Dan, or?
Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking, I'm not sure which one you were looking at, Sylvia.
I think actually it was this one, but there was also some good photographs someplace.
There, there was a from the ORS website that had a lot of pictures of the dam, the fish, impacts on the environment. Your proposed wetland resource, that's the, well, you have that.
Yeah.
So did did any of the commissioners have any questions on the project or get a chance to look at some of this supplemental material?
Well, I looked it all over and I also read again, Noel's very nice letter. I thought she did a nice job on that. Supporting letter.
Thank you.
And there was also a form on there that's asking for various boards and committees, I guess, for the to sign off, including the select board. And I didn't know if Dan was going to be approaching the select board about that, or whether.
Well, I think Barney's on the line here, and she had said that the sort of the protocol is that the Conservation Commission would then recommend to the select board to support removal of the dam.
You know, that's what I was going to say next. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not sure I'm finding the picture that you're thinking of.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay.
So,
Looks like a
Christina,
member. Oh, sorry. Yep,
So-
exactly. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say Christina's got her hand up.
Hi, just wanted to let you know that ESC just wrapped up a meeting and we voted unanimously to send a letter to the select board advocating for the select board's support in this endeavor. So ESC, well, I'll be sending it out tomorrow to the select board.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chris.
I've read Noel's letter at least twice now. I thought it was very well done.
So I must admit, I had not seen Noel's
Mm.
letter, so I'm always in favor of removing dams in general, but
Well, this one is a manufacturing dam. It doesn't have any more uses
Right.
really in life. And it does a nice job with assisting with migration of anadromous and catadromous fishes.
but does it have an impact on managing floodwaters and so on?
So the dam actually is probably more apt to cause flooding upstream of the dam. And that has been controversial all throughout the history of the dam and
Okay.
had flooding in the past. Removal of the dam will reduce the potential for flooding upstream of the dam. And in the event of, climate change and catastrophic rainfall, the risk of the dam itself, which is in quote fair condition, could impact communities downstream, and if that fails catastrophically. So that the idea of removing the dam is going to be safer for reducing the impact of flooding, to answer your question on that.
Both upstream and downstream.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
And some of the information on there talked about clams, various kinds of clams moving in upstream that help filter the the water from contaminants, which is, it'll take a while.
Yeah, I think in the last meeting I mentioned or talked to you about the freshwater mussels.
Well,
that
mussels, right, not clams, mussels.
filter up to 20 gallons a day, including bacteria, algae, and pollutants. And in fact, the only portion of that whole watershed right now that is actually considered swimmable is at the 225 uh, bridge. That the water is clean enough there to be swimmable at this point.
Huh.
Yeah. We'd
So
like to,
this is different from saltwater clams that tend to ingest all the copper in the water and glow and blue and are not good to eat, shall we say?
Won't be good
So
to
I misspoke, it's mussels.
no, I understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
You
that's
don't want
very
to eat these
different.
mussels.
So they'll filter between 5 and 20 gallons a day. These are fairly good sized mussels. They're I don't know if they can
Wow, that's big. Okay.
they're good size.
Yeah.
And so that is a natural way to clean the river and have a better water supply for Billerica. And there's also a picture of the intake for the water supply for Billerica. There's a natural dam above the Talbot Mill Dam, which is basically it's all rock that has raises the level of the water, and the intake is above that, so that it's a relatively deep spot. Removal of the dam will only reduce the water level by about 3.5 inches. So,
Wow. Okay.
and that's it. That's both at um, drought conditions, normal and flood conditions. It's not going to have a big impact on the water supply.
So I think I've heard enough. Can I get a motion from my commissioners to recommend supporting the removal of the Talbot Mill Dam?
Yeah, so moved. Move to support removal of the dam.
And have
So that's
the select board sign it.
Are we
We're
we
recommending that the select board support
Support
this.
the,
Oh, is that what the motion needs to be? We don't need to approve it. We recommend the select board approve it.
well, you
It's
need to
both.
approve it, and then you as part of that, maybe you could recommend to the select board that they consider this issue.
Approval.
so
Okay.
move to
Support.
support removal of the dam and recommend that the select board approve removal of the dam.
So we'll do both at the same time.
So could we ask
Yeah.
Christina what they did?
Yeah.
Say again, Ron?
Can we ask Christina what they did? Did they make a recommendation to the select board or write a letter on their own?
They did both, and I just came from that meeting, so that's they did the same
So,
thing.
so Brian, you're recommending we mirror image.
I'm moving
What they
I'm
did.
moving both. So
Oh,
so
okay,
moved.
Nick does both. Can
Second,
I get a second for the
second,
Conscom decision?
second.
Okay. All right. And we'll take a roll call vote here with a few members that are still here. Nick,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Dan is gone. Sylvia,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The motion passes
Great,
for both.
close one. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate this,
Okay. No, thank you.
and hope we'll have clean water here, more clean water, and
And delicious mussels.
yeah.
Right.
Ethan.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Megan, I think we've covered all the items.
Think we did.
So can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Right.
Second.
Nick. Take a roll call vote. Dun-dun-dun, for all that's left. Nick,
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Sylvia.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion passes. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
See you in a couple weeks.
Can hardly
Thanks,
wait.
everyone.
Good night.
Take
Bye.
care.